Breaking news. A man is in the hospital after being shot 4 times in Durham. What we're learning from the scene and the WRAL breaking news tracker.
Hot and humid again today, but it won't stay that way for long. I'm tracking a change in the weather pattern that will bring a more comfortable weekend.
TST is back. Soccer teams from around the world are in Cary to play for million-dollar prizes. What you need to know about all the action and the traffic around the park.
Oh, yes, we're following those stories and more here on WRAL. WRAL News at 8 starts in 30 seconds.
At Leith Honda in Raleigh and Auto Park Honda in Cary, we make your buying process easy. And with every new car purchase, you'll enjoy complimentary oil changes and exceptional service. It's no wonder we've earned so many 5-star reviews. You'll also get peace of mind pricing with every used vehicle, and if it's not the perfect fit, no problem. Bring it back within 3 days for an easy exchange. Visit our showroom at Auto Park Honda in Cary or Leith Honda in Raleigh. It's easier here.
Your number one source for local news. This is WRAL, coverage you can count on.
Good morning. The time is 8 a.m. here on your Wednesday. A lot of stories we're following to get your day started. I'm Laura Levine.
And I'm Ken Smith as well. It's hot and humid as well.
Oh, yes.
In terms of you planning your morning. Let's get over to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner, the WRAL Severe Weather Center, tracking it all for us.
And we do have just a small chance for some severe storms in our northern counties as we have the thunderstorms develop mainly later on this afternoon and into the evening. 1 or 2 of those could produce some wind damage. It's been quiet on the radar this morning, waiting for maybe an isolated shower to pop up and move in this morning, but it's looking like we'll be fairly dry until much later on today. Here's a look at Futurecast, and you can see we're still dry at lunchtime, but mid to late afternoon, we begin to see a line of showers and thunderstorms developing. We could see some brief heavy rain with those showers and storms, and that's likely to continue on and off till around midnight or so. So again, starting at as early as 3 p.m. and then lasting into the evening, that's when we'll have the best chance for rain. We take a look at the Weld, look at downtown Raleigh from the Weld Apartments, where it is cloudy, it is warm and muggy. 74 the temperature, and the dew point way up there at 71. So we're sitting right there at tropical, that dew point really high, but we do have the potential to see that drop in the next couple of days. In the meantime, it's with us all day today with a high of 88 degrees. It's going to be a hot one. A small chance for thunderstorms again tomorrow, and then the pattern change begins. I'll show you when the humidity could start to move out. Coming up, Ken.
Elizabeth here in the WRAL Traffic Center. We're monitoring some congestion on a couple of our major routes, including I-87. Those southbound lanes coming in from Knightdale this morning. You can see them moving away from us this morning. So let's check the sensors and give you a look at what we're talking about here. You're looking at a 5-minute delay. Boy, in the last 15, 20 minutes, this was up to double digits. So things are getting a little better, stretching all the way back to Wendell Falls Parkway. 5-minute delay, that's not going to make you late. But if you're concerned that things could get a little jammed up again, you might want to take Knightdale Boulevard or Business 64 as an alternate route if you're coming in from Knightdale, all points east. The other issue, I-40 westbound. Here's a live look at I-40 and Lake Wheeler Road. Those are the westbound lanes moving away from us. But once you get across Gorman Street exit, it's really clear sailing all the way over to Cary. Right now, you're looking at a 7-minute delay on that southern loop of the Beltline. If you're coming in from the Garner-Johnston County area, no delays between Highway 36 and the Beltline. You're getting ready to head into the Cartoonist Center on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Ken, thank you. We're staying on top of breaking news this morning. Police are investigating after a man was shot at the Oxford Manor Apartments in Durham. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is at that scene in the WRAL breaking news tracker. And Kelsey, you've been there for a little while now. What are you learning this morning about the situation?
Laura, that scene just cleared within the last 20 minutes here at Oxford Manor. We'll go ahead and give you a look at video from the WRAL breaking news tracker. Officers on scene say that a man was found shot here 4 times just outside of one of the units here at the apartment complex. Police say he was rushed to the hospital, and we're working to get an update on his injuries. Police say they're also still searching for the shooter. Now, just for context here, Oxford Manor is an affordable housing community here in Durham. Just in the last couple months, the city announced plans to add more security cameras and lighting around the community after 5 shootings happened here within the last year and a half. So right now we are working to get an update on plans to install that new system. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Durham.
New search warrants reveal the woman accused of shooting two Wake County attorneys in downtown Raleigh is also accused of threatening to shoot at a medical facility. Gwendolyn White had her first court appearance at the Wake County Justice Center yesterday. Warrants do not say when the threat against the medical facility happened. The documents do show that officers believe White is experiencing a severe mental health crisis. The warrants outlined items that were taken during a search, including 2 rifles, CDs, flash drives, photos, and more. White's mental health was called into question during her hearing yesterday as attorneys discussed a competency exam for her. If convicted, she could face up to 65 years in prison. Her next court date is June 15th. Well, it is a big day for soccer in the Triangle. The first matches of the soccer tournament at Wake Med Soccer Park in Cary has begun.
Yes, let's bring in WRAL's Ali Calabar. She's live at Wake Med Soccer Park having a great time. And Ali, this year there are 3 $1 million prizes up for grabs.
Oh yeah, Ken, and that means that you have to be good with one of these, using your feet, of course, and that's what we're seeing happen right there on field 3. We are seeing the action. It has begun. We're going to see a total of 2,000 athletes play in this tournament. Now, they're going to start with the men's team. That's today, and then tomorrow we're going to see the women's team, 16 women's teams. And one of those teams that we're going to see on the field is Dreamville FC. That started this year by Fayetteville native Jay Cole. This year, there's also a new mixed tournament. TSD is also offering an ultimate fan experience with meet and greets, food, games, and of course, a spot near the action. Players say they're excited to see the sport grow even more this year.
Seeing a tournament like TST rise each and every year, I mean, just more and more support, more and more teams, more people want to come and play here in the Triangle. That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, so there's a lot of support. Chatham Street is going to be busy today through Monday. Best ways to go around the congestion: Chapel Hill Road, Carytown Boulevard, and Wade Avenue. If you are coming here, you're in for a treat. And you're seeing the teams play here right now, and I'm trying to learn as much as I can. I just learned, I don't think I'm doing this right. I just learned something like that. I think I'm going to learn while I watch here. Now, the excitement is just beginning in the soccer world. Fox 50 is going to be airing the FIFA World Cup. I'm hearing a lot of talk about it. It starts June 11th. Reporting live in Cary, Ali Calabar, WRAL News.
All right, Ali's showing some skills there. As she just showed us, all the action is already underway there at the Wake Med Soccer Park. Look for live coverage wherever you watch WRAL throughout the tournament. Some games will be broadcast live on WRAL. Well, after 2 meetings in Zebulon, town leaders voted to deny a key permit for a proposed asphalt plant. The plant would have been located in an area off Old US 264. Now, this is right down the road from the old baseball stadium, Nomeco Park, formerly Five County Stadium. At last night's meeting, some neighbors expressed opposition to that plant. They argued it would cause air and water pollution. They were also concerned the plant could potentially affect a manufacturing facility next door.
The toxic air pollutants, how do I keep them out of my equipment? How do I ensure my customers that what they're getting is not going to have any contamination in it?
Well, the company behind the project is Eastwake LLC. It brought in experts saying the plant would have had minimal impact on the nearby area. The entire Zebulon Board of Commissioners voted to deny that permit.
Well, people in Elm City are speaking out against what they're calling persistent problems, with their water. This is after the entire town lost water access entirely for nearly 6 hours yesterday. This happened after the internet service provider Brightspeed accidentally hit a water line. It left families, schools, and businesses without running water until around 6 last night. People we spoke with say that even after the service returned, there were still some issues.
My sink is black. Well, I've just let the water run so I can tell when the water is back on. The pressure is extremely low and the water is black. It's black.
So I may go out into the country and stay with my parents if the water doesn't get right in a couple of hours because I have to get up early and go to work.
And this is not the first time WRAL has covered water issues in Elm City. Back in 2024, we reported that the town received 6 water quality violations in 6 months. One commissioner told WRAL that the town currently has grants underway to help address the problems it's facing. Brightspeed says it's looking into how the water line was hit and will release a statement at an appropriate time.
Tonight, the Carolina Hurricanes continue their quest for the Cup. The Canes are in Montreal tonight for Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals against the Canadiens. Carolina is up 2-1 in the best-of-7 series. The Canes scored 2 overtime wins in Games 2 and 3. They're now 10-1 in the playoffs this year, winning 5 overtime games in the process. For head coach Rod Brindamore, he says it's all about playing their brand of hockey and playing together as a team.
When I say they're mature in the way they play, it's playing for the team. Like it's okay. I mean, I could maybe go for that, and maybe I get a break, but it's not quite the right time to do it, and so we don't. Or that's maturity in your game, understanding that, and we got a lot of really high-end players that I think play that way.
The winner of this series will face the Vegas Golden Knights in the Stanley Cup Final. Puck drop for tonight's game is at 8 o'clock.
Well, happening today, another chance for people to learn more about the proposed takeover of WakeMed by Atrium Health. Hospital officials are hosting another listening session tonight about the deal. People can ask questions and get more insight, raising concerns about the agreement. Tonight's session will be at WakeMed Carey Hospital Conference Center. That's on Kildare Farm, and that starts at 6 p.m.
Well, time now, 8:11. Congressional shakeup. Another incumbent Republican losing the primary to a Trump-backed candidate. An update on the U.S. Senate race in Texas getting a lot of national attention.
Plus, James Comey trial. The former director of the FBI will be in court this fall, accused of threatening President Donald Trump. The details on that trial that will take place right here in North Carolina. Elizabeth?
And we do have that chance for showers and thunderstorms mainly later on this afternoon. I'll let you know the timing and whether you'll be one of the ones to see the rain coming up. 8:14, we take a look at dual Doppler 5000 radar. It's been pretty quiet for us this morning. I haven't really seen any showers out there just yet, but it's possible that we could see a sprinkle or two. Better chance for rain comes around the time of the evening commute and into the evening hours. We'll see a few scattered storms pop up and potentially some brief heavy rain, but not everybody will see that. It's a 40 to 50% chance. This morning, everybody is seeing the warm, muggy conditions, though lots of cloud cover as we take a look at Pittsburgh this morning. It's 70 in Roanoke Rapids, 75 in Wilson, 74 in Durham, so definitely a warm start. It is probably a bit uncomfortable for any real strenuous exercise outside this morning. At lunchtime, mid-80s, and of course hot and humid this afternoon, up to 88 degrees. And then as temperatures begin to fall, we'll see an increased chance for some scattered thunderstorms. We do see a bit of a break from the humidity coming up in just a few days. We'll walk through that coming up, Ken.
Elizabeth, weather and traffic every 10 minutes. If you take a live look at a live traffic map this morning, you can see that southern loop of the Beltline and the northern loop of the Beltline. We're picking up some delays, as well as I-540 this morning. We're looking at a 46-minute delay, depending on where you're headed this morning. We're also keeping an eye on all the traffic headed to the WakeMed Soccer Park. That's right there. We're picking up some heavy congestion in both directions on East Chatham Street, but all the other routes, Chapel Hill Road, Southeast Maynard, delay-free for now.
Some major shakeups are ahead in Congress after 3 incumbents were defeated in their primaries last night in Texas. 1 Republican and 2 Democrats will lose their seats. Incumbent Senator John Cornyn lost his Republican primary race to Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton. This race drew national attention after President Trump endorsed Paxton, calling him, quote, a true MAGA warrior. Paxton will face Democratic State Representative James Salarico in what is expected to be a closely watched race. Meanwhile, Democrat Al Green lost his primary for a U.S. House seat. Congressman Christian Menifee won that race, which was a battle of 2 sitting congressmen over a newly drawn district. Menifee was elected to Congress in January to replace Sylvester Turner, who died in office. And Democrat Colin Allred defeated incumbent Julie Johnson in a district that covers the Dallas area. Allred previously served in Congress before losing his bid for the U.S. Senate back in 2024.
A federal judge set an October 21st trial date for former FBI Director James Comey. That will happen at a federal courthouse in New Bern. The U.S. Department of Justice indicted Comey at the end of last month. He's accused of making a threat against the president based on a social media post Comey made. It shows seashells on a North Carolina beach arranged to read 8647. 86 is a term used in the restaurant industry to get rid of an order. And Mr. Trump is the 47th president. Comey's attorneys are expected to file motions to get the case dismissed.
Wake County school leaders could have a clear AI policy as early as next school year. District leaders met yesterday to work on an AI policy. The working draft mentions safeguards for privacy and integrity. It also gives guidance on the appropriate use of AI tools and comprehensive AI literacy training. What it doesn't do is actually lay out what those safeguards, guidance, or training would entail.
A significant milestone for the new Red Hat Amphitheater in Raleigh, now under construction. Crews placed the final steel beam atop the new bridge, a new stage yesterday. City leaders gathered for a ceremony to celebrate the progress of the new site on West Lenore Street. This is all part of the Raleigh Convention Center expansion that includes relocating the amphitheater a block from where it was initially located. The new Red Hat venue will be able to hold 6,500 people, which is an increase of about 500 seats. The new venue is set to open next year.
Teams have called off the search for a missing swimmer on the coast. Jared Wheeler was last seen in the ocean near Figure 8 Island. He was wearing brown swim trunks. Deputies and the Coast Guard searched the waters as far as Surf City, but they said that they could not find him. UNC Wilmington's women's basketball coach is now recovering after nearly drowning while saving her nephew. This happened last week at Wrightsville Beach during a family outing. Nicole Woods says a wave sent her nephew underwater and she rushed in to save him. The two were caught in a rip current. A rescue team eventually pulled Woods and her nephew out of the ocean and onto the shore, but she wasn't breathing. Coach Woods was taken to the hospital and has since been released.
Well, time now 8:18. Parts of western North Carolina dealing with significant rain damage because of recent flooding. Heavy rain hammered some mountain communities Monday. That led to a flash flood emergency. The heavy downpour washed out roads in some places, including along Highway 74 in Henderson County. Many people in those areas are still recovering from Helene.
There's no doubt people are, hate to use the term PTSD, but it's a little bit of kind of what people have from the storm. And again, this is the first time we've had some really significant weather since Helene. We've had a few little instances since then, but especially this area that got hit so hard to get hit again.
I would imagine people are still traumatized. Swift water rescue crews were called in to help. At last check, no injuries were reported. Now, despite the rain we've received recently, the water levels at Falls Lake fell again. The new data from the city of Raleigh shows the water supply is about 74%. The decreased water levels are why Raleigh water customers are under water restrictions. The city has not said when those restrictions could be lifted.
Yeah, and checking in here with Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. Elizabeth, I know that rain was much needed that we've been receiving, but it's really just the tip of the iceberg of what we actually need right now.
It is. If we can just keep this pattern going, eventually we'll chip away at it enough that it will make some difference. The one thing that we are seeing, a lot of people didn't have to water their yards this weekend.
Yes.
And so we're using a little less water because of that. So there's still hope. We do have some cloud cover here in downtown Raleigh, so we take a look past the North Carolina Museum of Natural Sciences. It's breezy. We have a southwest wind at 15 miles per hour, but that southwesterly wind is bringing a warm, muggy air mass into our region. It's 74 in the Triangle right now. We take a look at dual Doppler 5000 radar. There have been a few showers to our north and west, but nothing really moving into our area. You might run into a sprinkle or two. Once the storms develop late this afternoon and this evening, up near the Virginia line, we do have a level 1 risk for severe storms. Level 1 means that only a few isolated cells could reach that severe potential, and the biggest threat would be wind damage. We check out Futurecast, and you can see this morning that rain that's up to the north, and then a few isolated showers that started to drift in around the middle of the afternoon. There's 3 o'clock, there's 5 o'clock, so some scattered storms move through, and a few people will see some nice heavy downpours. It does look like a lot of that will be in our southern counties, where a good bit of the rain was over the weekend as well. We continue with the chance on Thursday, but that chance continues to drop. Friday into Saturday, we'll actually see a nice drop in our humidity, and we'll walk through that potential coming up in just a little bit. Saturday, in terms of rain, though, is trending a little bit wetter. There could be a wave that develops and brings some rain to the southern half of North Carolina on Saturday. So a better chance of rain, say, around Fayetteville and Clinton, lesser chances from Raleigh northward. So for the next 7 days, we're not looking at a ton of rain, probably a quarter of an inch or less in some places, and we still need up to 10 to 14 inches. We've had some good rain in the last week, 3 inches in Pinehurst and about 1.25 inches in Fayetteville, almost 6 inches in Clinton, 3.5 in Goldsboro. And then from the Triangle area northward, it's been anywhere from about an inch to an inch and a half. So we've definitely, had some rain, which is good. We start to cool things off and drop our humidity as we get closer to the weekend. Look at those temperatures looking good. Even those overnight lows feeling very comfortable down into the 50s, Ken.
Looking forward to that. And here's what you can look forward to if you're heading out, particularly if I-87 is part of your morning commute. That congestion we've been monitoring has really thinned out quite a bit. Those are the southbound lanes of I-87 moving away from us this morning. So as we check the sensors, right now it's down to 1 minute. About 45 minutes ago, that was up to double digits. So things have definitely gotten a lot better. You're looking at an 8-minute delay if you're coming in from Wake Forest this morning, but all the other routes coming in on I-40 eastbound, you're coming in from Apex, Gardner, Johnston County area, delay free at this hour. So let's check that southern loop of the Beltline, because once you're coming in from the Gardner, Johnston area, you have a choice to make whether you can go left or right in terms of the southern loop of the Beltline. Right now you're looking at I-40 and Lake Wheeler Road. It looks a little jammed up there, but right now you're just looking at a 4-minute delay on that southern loop of the Beltline at this hour.
Legit versus fishy fish oil. Before you take your morning vitamins, 5 on Your Side has the best fish oil on the market and the ones to avoid.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Good morning. The time is 8:26. I'm Laura Levine. Let's get right over to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner on another really mild morning. Elizabeth.
Right now, we take a look at dual Doppler 5000 radar. There were some hints of some showers earlier. It looks like we're not really going to see a whole lot this morning, but definitely later this afternoon and this evening, we'll likely have another round of some scattered showers and thunderstorms. It's a warm start with a lot of cloud cover this morning. Here's a live look at Pittsburgh. Our temperatures are in the low to mid 70s right now as you're heading out the door, and that dew point sitting at 72. So it feels really sticky. It'll be a fairly hot afternoon at 88, and then we'll get into that round of thunderstorms. We'll probably repeat that again tomorrow, but then it's a little drier and cooler getting into the weekend. Ken?
That has been happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We're keeping an eye on all the major routes heading to Wake Met Soccer Park for the soccer tournament that kicked off about an hour ago. Right now, we're picking up some heavy congestion around the park, around the East Chatham Street, but no delays on Chapel Hill Road and Southeast Main. But we'll keep an eye on that for you moving forward this morning, because it's going to be a lot of traffic heading that way. As for other means of transportation into the Raleigh-Wake County area, you're just looking at a 6-minute delay coming in from Wake Forest, and all the other major routes are relatively delay-free at this hour.
Police are investigating after a man was found shot 4 times in Durham. This happened around 5 a.m. at the Oxford Manor Apartments near Old Oxford Road. Police on scene say they found him behind an apartment building. He was rushed to the hospital. Police say no suspect is in custody. The soccer tournament has kicked off in Cary this morning. Players and celebrities from around the world will be at the 6-day event. The men's teams are competing today, and the women tomorrow, of course. We'll have all the latest coming up next on Fox 50. Breaking news. A man is in the hospital after being shot 4 times in Durham. What we're learning from the scene in the WRAL Breaking News Tracker.
Hot and humid again today, but it won't stay that way for long. I'm tracking a change in the weather pattern that will bring a more comfortable weekend.
Before you take your vitamins this morning, you're going to want to watch this. I'm 5 on Your Side's Keely Arthur with the top tested fish oil supplements on the market and the ones to avoid.
We've got all that, plus we're checking your morning commute. Thanks for staying with us. I'm Ken Smith.
And I'm Laura Levine, starting off with another muggy morning. Let's get right over to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. And Elizabeth, I walked outside and I was like, oh my goodness, my hair.
I know, me too. I said that to Ken in the studio just a little while ago. Oh, the hair, my goodness. We don't have a change in the next couple of days, but actually we're going to get a little break from the humidity toward the weekend. This afternoon, we'll have a line of showers and storms that develops up near the Virginia line, where we could have 1 or 2 cells that could produce some wind damage. It wouldn't be a widespread issue for us. It's been quiet this morning. We've been seeing a few isolated showers, mostly to our north or west, and none of those have made it into our area. But once we get closer to lunchtime, that could change. That's 10 o'clock, that's noon. And then we get into early to mid-afternoon and we start to see some of the showers and thunderstorms popping up. This version of Futurecast is coming in with those showers a little earlier than some of the other runs, but definitely, late afternoon, evening, we'll have those storms that redevelop. The coverage should be a little less than it was yesterday, but some of those storms could still produce some heavy downpours, which certainly we do need. And you can see how we have that chance ramping up as we get into the late afternoon and evening. It's cloudy right now. We take a look at downtown Raleigh. It is 74 degrees. Our dew point is 71, so it's a warm and muggy start and very tropical out there. That 71 puts us at the very top end of the muggy meter. Definitely a warm one too. Low to mid 70s now. We'll climb into the upper 80s for this afternoon. More of the same for tomorrow. And then it looks like our chance of rain bumps up a little bit for Saturday, but our humidity drops. I'll show you all of that coming up. Ken?
Well, this is what's happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We're keeping an eye on this southern loop of the Beltline. This is the usual morning congestion that we see on that southern loop of the Beltline, I-40, Lake Wheeler Road. Really and truly, once you get past Gorman Street, it's clear sailing to Cary. Right now, you're looking at just a 4-minute delay on that southern loop of the Beltline, so that's really good news. Things have gotten a lot better coming in from Nightdale this morning. Take a look at what we're talking about. I-87, Smithfield Road, those are the southbound lanes, moving at a nice steady clip right now, so that's really good news when you think about heading out this morning. So here's what we're looking at. Just a 1-minute delay coming in from Nightdale, a 1-minute delay if you're coming in from the Garner-Johnston County area and I-40 westbound, and really truly relatively no delays coming in from I-40 eastbound in Durham, or you're coming in from Apex as well. We are keeping an eye on all the traffic headed to the WakeMed Soccer Park because of the soccer tournament kicking off about an hour ago or so. We're picking up some delays right down here in East Chatham Street, which is right near the park. All the other routes really are delay-free at this time. So things are going to get a little busy. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Staying on top of breaking news this morning now, police are investigating after a man was found shot 4 times in Durham. The shooting happened around 5 a.m. at Oxford Manor near Old Oxford Road. Police on scene say that they found him behind an apartment building. He was rushed to the hospital. Police say no suspect is in custody.
New search warrants reveal the woman accused of shooting 2 Wake County attorneys in downtown Raleigh is also accused of threatening to shoot at a medical facility. Gwendolyn White had her first court appearance at the Wake County Justice Center yesterday. Warrants indicate that when the threat against the medical facility happened, and documents show that officers believe White is experiencing a severe mental health crisis. The warrants outlined items that were taken during a search, including 2 rifles, CDs, flash drives, photos, and a whole lot more. White's mental health was called into question during her hearing yesterday as attorneys discussed a competency exam for her. If convicted, she could face up to 65 years in prison. Her next court date is scheduled for June 15th. Now, we have all of our coverage of the Wake County Courthouse shooting on the WRAL YouTube channel. You can find Gwendolyn White's civil case history, witness accounts, and video of White being taken into custody. It's all in a playlist labeled Attorneys Shot Outside Raleigh Courthouse. Well, it's a big day for soccer in the Triangle. The first matches of the soccer tournament at WakeMed Soccer Park underway right now. WRAL's Ali Kadlabar having some fun out there at the WakeMed Soccer Park. And listen, we've got 3 $1 million prizes up for grabs.
Yeah, Ken, that means you have to be good with one of these with your feet, of course, unlike me. And we are seeing the games have begun, those matches. It is 1-1 here at Field 3. We're going to see 2,000 athletes play in the Global 7v7 soccer tournament. It starts with the men's teams today, and then one of those teams that we're actually going to see in the next hour, it's Dreamville FC. That started this year by Fayetteville native J. Cole. Now, the 16 women's teams will start completing tomorrow, and this year there's a new mixed tournament. TST is also offering an ultimate fan experience with meet and greets, food, games, and, of course, a spot near the action. We actually spoke with a fan who traveled from New York. As a soccer player herself, she says the excitement for the tournament means a lot.
I went to the moped store. I just feel like getting more, recognition for the sport and the fact that it's just like such a huge tournament and bringing teams from all over the place.
I don't need a windshield. So we do have a map of everything you need to know on WRAL.com. This is just the start of the excitement for the soccer world. Fox 50 is going to be airing the FIFA World Cup starting on June 11th. Reporting live in Cary, Ali Kadlabar, WRAL News.
All right, WRAL will have coverage of the first day of the soccer tournament all day today. We'll be at Brakemet Soccer Park for the entirety of the tournament. We'll also broadcast some games live on WRAL. Well, new this morning, a report shows teacher union membership plummeting in North Carolina. The Thomas B. Fordham Institute says the state has seen the second biggest drop in the past 20 years. That's significant because it has not passed any reforms to weaken unions, unlike in other states. The North Carolina Association of Educators is the state's biggest teacher union. It held a rally on May 1st, attended by thousands of educators all across the state, calling for more school funding. It's unclear whether that rally has boosted membership.
At least one person is dead and 9 others missing after a chemical tank imploded at a facility in Washington state. Local officials say the tank ruptured early yesterday morning at a paper plant near the Oregon border. At least 9 other people, including a firefighter, were injured. The fire department said there was still a liquid in that tank last night. That's complicating attempts to reach people still in the plant. Recovery efforts are expected to resume today.
Well, this morning, the Islamic Association of Raleigh is hosting a prayer gathering to celebrate El Eda, or the Festival of Sacrifice. The event represents faith, unity, and celebration in the Triangle's Muslim community. It's happening from now until 10:30 this morning at the North Carolina State Fairgrounds.
Family and friends are mourning the death of a Johnston County firefighter. Antioch Volunteer Fire Department Captain Brent Price died Saturday at the age of 49. The department says that he served the community for 31 years. According to his obituary, visitation is tonight in Selma. Funeral services are tomorrow morning in Kinley.
2 students facing charges after a gun was found at Jordan High School in Durham. Sky 5 flew over that scene yesterday afternoon. The school went on lockdown when authorities got a tip about a possible gun on campus. Investigators got the gun and the lockdown was lifted shortly after that. No one was hurt. This was the 4th lockdown at Jordan High School this school year alone.
Tonight, the Carolina Hurricanes will hope to further their quest for the Cup. We're just over 12 hours away now from Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals in Montreal against the Canadiens. And the Canes lead the series 2-1 after getting overtime wins in Games 2 and 3. The Hurricanes have lost just once during their entire playoff run so far. The team is emphasizing the need to keep the pressure on their opponent during each game.
It's a staple of our game in the sense it's a 5-man forecheck where, when those guys are going back for pucks, they're like, oh crap, I got to go back for a puck again. So, it's a compliment to our forwards in the way they forecheck and make it miserable for them.
Puck drop for tonight's game is at 8. You can tune in to our 11 p.m. newscast for all the big moments.
Well, the winner of the Canes-Canadiens series will play the Vegas Golden Knights in the Stanley Cup Final. Vegas finished the sweep of the Colorado Avalanche last night in Game 4 of the Western Conference Final. By the way, Colorado was seeded number 1 in the West. This is the 3rd time Vegas has advanced to the Stanley Cup Final since entering the NHL as an expansion team back in 2017.
Your time now, 8:39. Coming up, Beyond the Label, trying to figure out the best vitamins and supplements can be confusing. 5 on your side sorts through the hype so you can make smart decisions.
Also, our Teacher of the Week is all about creating a family atmosphere in her 3rd grade classroom at Green Hope Elementary. We'll show you why this approach to teaching is working very well for her and her students.
And our rain chances continue. A slight chance of showers and thunderstorms today and tomorrow. And then we're turning a little wetter for Saturday, but we also have a nice drop in our humidity coming. I'll let you know when that arrives. Coming up. $8:43. We start with dual Doppler 5000 radar. There There's been a little bit of light patchy rain back to the west. We haven't seen hardly anything here yet this morning, but we definitely have a better chance this afternoon as we get closer to the evening commute, and then up through dinner time and even a little beyond, we could have some ongoing thunderstorms. We take a live look at downtown Raleigh, and you can see gray skies. It's a little bit breezy out there, but that southwesterly wind is only delivering this very warm, sticky, muggy air mass. 76 in Fayetteville, it's 75 in Wilson, and 76 in Goldsboro right now. So it's a warm start out there, and humidity may get in the way of your outdoor exercise. Our temperature mid-80s at lunchtime will climb to 88 degrees, and then of course after that we'll have some storms roll through. We'll see a similar situation tomorrow, and then we might see a drop in our humidity. I'll explain coming up. Ken?
All right, Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We continue to follow the southern loop of the Beltline, I-40, Lake Wheeler Road. Those are the westbound lanes moving away from us. And really and truly, once you get past the Gorman Street exit there on that southern loop of the Beltline, it's really clear sailing all the way over the Cary, because right now you're just looking at a 1 minute delay. We're picking up a couple of delays so far, a couple of minutes delays on that Wade Avenue area if you're navigating I-40 westbound. But again, nothing that's going to make you late at this hour.
Ken, thank you. Fish oil is one of the most popular supplements in the country right now, and adults take them regularly, trying to get some of the same heart-healthy nutrients found in fish like salmon. But 5 on Your Side's Keely Arthur reveals you may not be able to trust each bottle on the market.
Consumer Reports tested 20 supplements on the market. Whole Foods scored the highest, and none raised any major concerns. But there are some things you should know about.
We did find a few models that showed some signs of rancidity.
Others contain less omega-3 than their labels claimed, meaning you may not be getting what you paid for. Some supplement makers are disputing the findings. Cunol questioned the testing methods used, and Nature Made says its own testing found its products met standards, while California Gold Nutrition says it has paused sales on some of its products and is retesting them. Costco did not respond to requests for comment. Then there's the bigger question: do most people even need fish oil supplements?
When you're just getting omega-3s from pills, it seems as if the benefit is not as great. There's something about eating whole food that is important.
So what should you do? Consumer Reports says the best option is simple. Just eat more fish like salmon or sardines a couple of times a week. If you do take supplements, store them properly, because like any oil, it can go bad over time. And we have Consumer Reports' full list up on our website. Just go to WRAL.com/5 on your side. Keely Arthur, 5 on your side.
Well, today, the personal assistant to actor Matthew Perry will be sentenced in the more than 2-year investigation into the actor's death. Kenneth Awamasa pleaded guilty in August of 2024 to 1 count of conspiracy to distribute ketamine, resulting in Perry's death. Prosecutors say he bought the ketamine and administered a lethal dose to Perry. Awamasa was one of the prosecution's most important witnesses. Today's sentencing will be his first court appearance since the case became public. Awamasa faces more than 3 years in prison.
So, Ken, remember that story about that guy who was accused of throwing a rock at a seal in Hawaii? You may recall this video we were showing viewers after this first happened. Well, the lawyer for that 38-year-old man from Washington State says that his client has been doxxed and assaulted after this all happened. Now, this, of course, is coming from his lawyer, says that, again, the doxing, for those of you who don't know, basically it's when somebody leaks your personal information, where you live, maybe your email address, your job, etc. And that man is set to appear in court in Hawaii on charges of harassing and attempting to harass protected animals. Now, the lawyer is saying that when that man threw that rock, he was actually protecting the turtles. But you may recall the video of the prosecutor saying it's him, again, throwing that rock at the seal. I believe there was also a report where people said that they overheard him saying that he could afford the fine, so I'm sure that'll be taken into account here. He later surrendered in Seattle to authorities there, but he again will be appearing in court in Hawaii.
Chris, thank you. Months after the Artemis 2 mission around the moon, NASA is now laying out the next big steps to build a moon base. It'll be set upon a ridge on the south pole of the moon. NASA outlined 3 phases taking place through 2032 and beyond. The first 3 moon base missions will deliver supplies and cargo and conduct experiments to make sure getting to the surface is a high reliability endeavor.
Phase 1, for example, will have 25 launches. 21 landings, and we're planning to deliver about 4 metric tons of cargo to the surface of the moon. And we want to graduate from that to 60 metric tons to 150 by the time we get to phase 3.
The earliest launch window for the first 3 missions is later this year.
Today in Johnston County, in the town of Clayton, kicking off summer. A free event in the town square will celebrate the last day of school. There'll be water slides, music, games, activities for all ages. The party is today from 3 in the afternoon this afternoon until 6 this evening. Well, speaking of school, our teacher of the week is a favorite among her 3rd grade students. We're at Green Hope Elementary in Wake County to surprise a teacher known for treating her students like family.
You can sit on the carpet. You can sit at a desk.
As far back as Abby Shari can remember, she wanted to be a teacher.
Very good.
Miss Shari says when she was the same age as her current students, she felt a deep connection to her school.
I had really good memories. I had really good teachers growing up. I felt really welcome, and I could really visualize how I could fit into that community. Excellent. So that was a multi-step problem, right?
Ms. Shari strives to create a sense of community in her 3rd grade classroom, helping her students experience that same connection she felt growing up.
I really think about my own teachers as a teacher, and I use some of their old tricks that I remember worked with us. And sometimes my parents will refer back to, oh, do you do what Miss Cagle used to do? And sometimes I do. I got those tricks up my sleeve from my own teachers. Okay, keep going. You're doing great.
Always a cheerleader for her students, Ms. Shari says she loves to see them helping each other, gelling and thriving over the course of the school year.
They come to you each year and you have a starting place, and it so clearly grows so fast. There's such an explosion of learning, and their capabilities and independence grows so much.
Ms. Shari, you are WRAL's Teacher of the Week. Give her a big round of applause, class.
Oh my gosh.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
You're welcome. Nice to meet you. All right, if you'd like to nominate a teacher, go to WRAL.com and enter Teacher of the Week in the search box.
All right, we're here in the WRAL Severe Weather Center in desk with Elizabeth Gardner. And Elizabeth, we were just talking about how nice it's actually been to see some rain in the viewing area, and more is on the way.
Yes, boy, we know how much we need it, that's
Yeah.
for sure. We take a look at our next weather maker. This has been stalled here since the end of last week, and that's been one of the reasons that we've seen the much needed rain. We're going to continue to see a flow coming out of the south, really keeping that warmth but moisture in place, and that's really what we need. We need this moisture to stick around and a cold front to help to interact with it to bring us that chance for rain. So here's Futurecast. We're looking cloudy but fairly dry up until just after lunchtime, and then we begin to see some of the thunderstorms popping up. You can see it here on this version of Futurecast as early as around 3 o'clock. This one's running a little earlier than some of the others, but basically, once we get into the mid-afternoon, late afternoon, we'll likely have some showers and storms pop up. Some of those will produce some heavy rain, maybe even some strong gusty winds. And again, up near the Virginia line, we have that small chance of some severe weather with a level 1 risk. Everything begins to change on Thursday. We'll still have a chance of some scattered showers and thunderstorms, but it will mostly be down to the south. And then the cooler, drier air begins to work its way in. You can see that flow coming down from the north. That's going to be what helps us to see a drop in the humidity. And that should start on Friday. We should start to feel a little less humid. This is the rain that we saw yesterday from the Triangle area southward. We ended up with some pockets of around an inch of rain, but from the Triangle area northward, it was more like a trace to maybe a tenth of an inch. So again, a lot of folks down south saw the rain. And with this particular pattern, since say Friday and Saturday, a lot of that rain has been in our southern counties. It's gray in Franklinton this morning and warm and muggy. 74 is our current temperature in Franklinton. Look at it, 72 in Holly Springs, 74 in Durham, 73 in Knightdale. The soccer tournament kicks off today, and temperatures at lunchtime will be in the mid-80s. We'll likely have some breaks in the clouds around midday, but of course later in the afternoon we'll have those scattered thunderstorms popping up, and it's a warm one with a high of 88. Again, that best chance of rain comes later in the afternoon, mid to late afternoon. Here's a look at the change in pattern that's going to make it feel so much better. The green shaded area is where all the humidity is, and then by Thursday and Friday we start to see a high pressure system bringing us more of a northeasterly flow that helps that humidity to drop. Now, the exception might be Saturday, where we have a system roll through and bring some rain to our southern counties. That might bump up the humidity just a bit, but generally it starts to feel more comfortable this weekend.
Elizabeth, thank you. And before we go to break, here are the winning lottery numbers. We'll have another check on weather and traffic next.